Hello there, how's it going? My name is June and this is my 31st recording of the book Atomic Habits, and in this one we will look at chapter 17, how an accountability partner can change everything. Interesting idea. And this is actually the inversion of the fourth law of behavior change, make it unsatisfying. So the idea is, in order to make a behavior less likely to, if you want to make a behavior less likely for you to do, you have to make it unsatisfying. And in order to make it unsatisfying, he is giving a specific strategy, which is the habit contract. Now we will look what does it mean to be unsatisfying and what the habit contract is. So let's begin. Inversion of the fourth law. Make it unsatisfying. Just as we are more likely to repeat an experience when the ending is satisfying, we are also more likely to avoid an experience when the ending is painful. Pain is an effective teacher. If a failure is painful, it gets fixed. If a failure is relatively painless, it gets ignored. The more immediate and more costly a mistake is, the faster you will learn from it. The threat of a bad review forces a plumber to be good at his job. The cost of cutting the wrong blood vessel makes the surgeon master of human anatomy and cut carefully. When the consequences are severe, people learn quickly. So from just the first paragraph, we get an idea. If we get punished, the idea is punishment. If we get punished from doing a behavior, we are less likely to do it. Now, punishment comes in all shapes and forms. Here, the punishment for not being a good plumber is a bad review. And here, the punishment for not being careful is harming your patient. The more immediate the pain, the less likely the behavior. If you want to prevent bad habits and eliminate unhealthy behaviors, then adding an instant cost to the action is a great way to reduce their odds. Very good idea. The things that you do. Okay, so let's read the next paragraph, then we'll connect all of them together. We repeat bad habits because they serve us in some way. Exactly. The reason we do bad habits is because they have some value to us, right? For example, the use of a smartphone. The reason people do it because they don't want to, how do I say, they don't want to be alone in their mind. People don't like boredom. Although it wastes time, but for them wasting time is better than being alone in their mind. Also, they want to get rid of the smartphone usage, but whenever they don't use it, they get an itch, right? So using a smartphone in this example is a bad habit, but the reason they do it because they serve us in some way, and that makes them hard to abandon. The best way I know to overcome this predicament is to increase the speed of the punishment and associated with the behavior. So before we move on any further, some people will say punishment is a very old school idea. Well, technically it is. That's why it came very end in the book. But having a little bit of punishment for the bad behavior is not wrong. You are going to apply all the rules taught in the other part of the book, of course, but you can also take this lesson and see how you can apply it in your life. The idea is adding a cost, adding pain, adding punishment, something undesirable to the bad things that you're doing. Add something undesirable. We repeat bad habits because they serve us in some way, and that makes them hard to abandon. The best way I know to overcome this predicament is to increase the speed of the punishment associated with the behavior. There can't be a gap between the actions and the consequences. As soon as actions occur, an immediate consequence. behavior begins to change. Customers pay their bills on time when they are charged a late fee. Students show up to class when their grade is linked to attendance. Now again, two more examples. Now customers pay their bills on time because they know there is a punishment, which is a late fee. They know the exact date by which they have to pay the bill and the exact fee that they will be charged if they don't do it. The same way, students know the exact punishment for not showing up to the class, which is absence. Their absence will affect their grade. So let's move on. If you're going to rely on punishment to change behavior, then the strength of the punishment must match the relative strength of the behavior it is trying to correct. To be productive, the cost of procrastination must be greater than the cost of action. To be healthy, the cost of laziness must be greater than the cost of exercise. Behavior only shifts if the punishment is painful enough and reliably enforced. Very good ideas. So the idea, pain is an effective teacher. I have actually colored this part, and the whole idea is make it unsatisfying. Why are the things that you don't want to do, why are you doing them? And because they serve us. He has said here they serve us, and if I go back and to make it attractive, let's go back. Which one was it? Was it this one? Yes, it was this one, I guess. Let me see. Well, it was this one. About the idea about bad habits is that you do them because you think there is some benefit. So in order to get rid of those bad habits, you must realize that they are bad habits, right? People think that they are losing something when they abandon their bad habits. But as we read Alan Carr's Easy Way to Stop Smoking, the idea was when you stop smoking, you gain a lot of things and you lose nothing. You are losing nothing and you are making marvelous positive gains, not only in health, energy, and money, but also in confidence, self respect, freedom, and most important of all, in the length and quality of your future life. Very good idea. So we are coming back to the same idea in the later section, make it unsatisfying, I should say. And the idea is you have to realize the bad habits, they are actually bad. They are not good. And if they still feel good, then you have to make them feel bad, right? So in general, the more local, tangible, concrete, and immediate the consequence, the more likely it is to influence individual behavior. The more global, intangible, vague, and delayed the consequence, the less likely it is to influence individual behavior. So he's talking about clarity and individualism. I would say they need to be clear and they need to affect you. Here, here we have some examples that when the student does not show up to the class, there is a clear and individual punishment, and it's immediate, right? As soon as you don't enter class, you don't go to the as soon as you don't go to the class, there is an immediate punishment and individual punishment. Thankfully, there is a straightforward way to add an immediate cost to any bad habit. Create a habit contract. Now, habit contract is one strategy he has given us to apply into our lives, but again, you can manufacture your own punishment as per your desire. So let's look at what a habit contract is. You can probably look at the name and make a guess. It's like a contract. It's like a written agreement, which it is. You take a piece of paper, you formally write down your habit and the cost for not doing the cost of not doing your habit. You You can create a habit contract to hold yourself accountable. A habit contract is a verbal or written agreement in which you state your commitment to a particular habit and the punishment that will occur if you don't follow through. Then you find one or two people to act as your accountability partners and sign off on the contract with you. So you actually need some people. Although if you don't have any people to share the contract with, it's still better to write it down and acknowledge it. It's better than nothing. To make bad habits unsatisfying, your best option is to make them painful in the moment. Creating a habit contract is a straightforward way to do exactly that. Good idea. Very good idea. So, I think we have talked about this in the previous part, but or maybe in some other book, I don't remember. But the idea is when you are going to do a bad habit, say it aloud. Say it aloud. I'm going to watch television for 2 hours. I know it will waste my time, but it is too important to me, and I don't want to do anything else. Say things like that. I'm going to eat junk food because I really want to do it and I don't care about my health. If you start saying those things, you will realize that how dumb those things are. And that's what a habit contract, I would say, is. It's it's it's, it's a written form of your habit. Even if you don't want to create a full-blown habit contract, simply having an accountability partner is useful. The comedian Margaret Cho writes a joke or song every day. She does the song a day challenge with a friend, which helps them both stay accountable. Knowing that someone is watching can be a powerful motivator. You are less likely to procrastinate or give up because there is an immediate cost. If you don't follow through, perhaps they will see you as untrustworthy or lazy. Suddenly, you are not only falling Suddenly, you are not only failing to uphold your promises to yourself, but also failing to uphold your promises to others. So the cost is your reputation. The cost of not doing what you said you would do is your reputation. And in 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene says that your reputation is everything. So here, James Clear is saying, put your reputation on the line, and then you will realize how important good habits are. The reason that you are not doing your habits because no one else knows. If your friend, someone you really value, if they know the kind of person you are, you will be more likely to be consistent with a good identity. So, knowing that someone is watching can be a powerful motivator. You are less likely to procrastinate or give up because there is an immediate cost. If you don't follow through, perhaps they'll see you as untrustworthy or lazy. Let's highlight that part. I really like it. We are always trying to present our best selves to the world. We comb our hair and brush our teeth and dress ourselves carefully because we know these habits are likely to get a positive reaction. We want to get good grades and graduate from top schools to impress potential employers and mates and our friends and family. We care about the opinions of those around us because it helps if others like us. This is precisely why getting an accountability partner or signing a habit contract can work so well. I completely agree. I completely agree. You have to actually, you don't, some people say don't advertise your goals. It actually undervalues them because people don't think they are that valuable. For example, for me, I really like piano. I don't go around telling people that piano is the best thing to spend time on. They they won't. Piano will not be that valuable to them. However, however, it's not about the thing. It's about you. It's a good idea that you don't advertise your goals, but but at the same time you must if you want to do something, you need to find a few people, two or three, that are important to you, and tell them that you're going to do it. If you don't do it, you can add a punishment to that as well. That's the idea. Let's make that a heading. Chapter summary. The inversion of the fourth law of behavior change is make it unsatisfying. We are less likely to repeat a bad habit if it is painful or unsatisfying. If it is painful or unsatisfying, an accountability partner can create an immediate cost to inaction. We care deeply about what others think of us, and we do not want others to have a lesser opinion of us. Knowing that knowing someone else is watching you can be a powerful motivator. Very good idea. Very good idea. Hmm. I don't know how I'm going to apply it in my life, honestly. I don't know. But it's good to know. It's good to know. It's good to know. So we finished chapter 17, make it satisfying. Now we are in the end game, just the advanced tactics, and we will be done with the book. I am looking forward to it very much. And that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.